Warning, this is an adult-oriented podcast about really perverse things, like communication and consent. If you are under 18 and looking for answers to questions about sex or kink, please visit scarletteen.com. For the dude bro listeners, this is the nerdy shit. Fuck off!
Man whore, everybody wants to be a man whore. Man whore, a man whore on Lala's land.
Hey, welcome to Lala's Land. This is Lala with her guest. It's Count Boogie from Perverted Podcast. Hey, Count.
Why, hello, Lala. How are you this fine evening that we were recording?
I'm so good. It's so good to hear your voice. We met once briefly. Do you remember?
Yes. No, not at all. Not even close.
That's all right.
Give me some descriptive of that moment.
The Gotham Press podcast came and visited you while you were recording.
Okay, yeah, I remember that. I remember you guys trying to come, and then you guys broke down in the middle of nowhere with coyotes and tumbleweeds and shit. And then, you had to one of you had to die. I forget who it was, so you could eat. And then you made it the next week.
Yeah, that was hardcore. But we did, and we were there. But hey, let's not talk about that. Let's talk about sex. Want to talk about sex?
Yeah. Am I supposed to be touching myself during this?
I would love it if you would touch yourself. And if you moaned or groaned a little bit, I think everyone would appreciate that.
So if I just went,
Is that what you sound like? Okay.
Well, I'm in front of a Starbucks right now recording into Zencaster. So I just, I can't, do the full throw my, self back into it,
Okay. Yeah. You're not in Starbucks, are you?
No, come on. COVID, bro. We're outside.
Okay.
Sucking their free Wi-Fi.
All right. We're going to start out a little tame. Here we go. Maybe these are all going to be tame. Have you named your package? And if so, are you willing to share that with us?
I name my package, sometimes useful, sometimes annoying, sometimes dead, sometimes sadness, sometimes happy.
Okay. So it's just the mood.
It's just the mood. I mean, as long as my package is going in you, Lala, that's really the goal. I don't care if you call it fucking top ramen. It's as long as it's working. I'm good.
Got it.
Which is a great name for a penis, by the way. You're all, excuse me, top ramen. Who doesn't love top ramen?
Right. Top ramen. That's it will forever be deemed top ramen now.
No, but it's in my case, it's probably top ramen because when you get it out of the package, it's hard. And then when you soak it, it gets soft, which kind of is like me sometimes, which is pretty dismal. Sad. I'm old, but okay. Viagra, Lala. Viagra is good.
Yeah, you could name it Viagra.
I could, I think there's some copyright infringements.
Oh, damn.
Can you imagine like some lawyer, like I'm like, yeah, that's right, bitch. You like Viagra, don't you? You like Viagra. And some lawyers like, tack. I'm sorry, sir, but we're going to have to serve you with these papers. You are not allowed to call your penis Viagra during intercourse at any time.
Oh, my gosh. Okay.
And yes, I am Jewish, so I can get away with that.
Okay. Good to know. All that is good to know. Can you tell me, besides top ramen, what turns you on the most during sex? So, like, what gets you hard and keeps you hard while you're having sex?
Lala, that is actually a fantastic question. For me, it's participation. If somebody can be present in the moment and I feel that somebody is open to their experience, whatever every sex session has like some little goal to it. It's either arousal, it's either orgasm, it's connection, it's chemistry. But as long as my partner and I can sense they're present, that's literally the thing I'm the most interested in.
Yeah, that makes sense. I like that answer. So if you were to put your partner in a position all bound up and tied up where they can't really move or help you out, does that turn you on still because you are the ultimate controller, or they can't really be present and help, right? Because they're stuck.
Well, I mean, you can be present in whatever experience of kink you're doing, whether it's bondage, whether it's wax play, fire play, knife play, needle play, any puppy play, pet play. all of those things you can be present whether or not you're actually physically moving. It's really the mindset more than the position. So yeah, there's times where bondage, where it's a role play, like an interrogation scene or something where they're fighting against something, or just they like to be tied up and fucked.
Mhm.
That's pretty cool too.
Yeah. Okay. So I've just recently heard that there's a thing called fetish cycles. Have you heard of that?
Like little bicycles that spit out fetishes while you ride.
No, more like
Like you're
if
like cruising over, like some foot, stuff, You're like yang, 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 yang. Gonna,
no, no, no.
gonna
More
spit out
like
some latex, hey, I'm into rubber. Here, gun down Venice Beach. Not fetish cycles. What the fuck is a fetish cycle?
so if you like multiple fetishes, they go in cycles. So maybe 1 week you're really into the bondage, or maybe a year, or maybe 2 years, and then you get out of that and you go into like liquid latex.
Oh, okay. I surely I guess you would call that kink cycles, the same as fetish cycles. To me, there's a difference between a fetish and a kink. Whereas as a fetish is you're obsessed with the thing,
Okay.
and the kink is you like the thing attached to the person. So like if you're into latex, it doesn't really matter about the person, you're into latex. And if you're specifically fetishizing bondage, it doesn't matter who you have tied up, you just want to tie someone up.
But the kink ties them together. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, the kink kind of seems, at least to me, everyone's got a goddamn definition for everything.
I
But to
know.
me, I definitely relate to kink cycles because there is, especially when you're learning or exploring something,
Hmm.
it's kind of like, oh, I'm really into bondage and I'm watching all these videos and I'm learning how to do these different ties. And then I'm working with my partners to see if they work. And it's kind of an exploration. And then you're like, okay, well, I suck at bondage, so I'm sick of that. So let's go back to fire play, or impact play,
Yeah.
because I've definitely traveled through cycles. Like for a while I was into blood play and tapping veins and stuff like that, and so I was learning all that, and I had partners that were really into that, even though I'm super squeamish, but it's like, fuck it, let's do it anyway.
Yeah? I'm
Yeah,
really
yeah.
squeamish. How did you get past that? I
Well,
mean,
I'm squeamish when I think about blood. I'm
uh-huh.
not squeamish around blood. So like as a first responder,
Uh-huh.
if there's blood all over the place, I don't think, because I have a job and a goal and a mission. So, but afterwards, when I start thinking about blood and rolling veins and shit like that, I just feel like ice, like right now, like my elbows bending and, you
Eeh,
know, so I
eeh.
can't talk about it, which makes it hard to learn stuff. Like if
Right.
you want to read up about stuff, it's hard. But when I'm in the moment, yeah, blood is, it's a great connecting type of play.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm feeling that feeling. So let's move off for that. We were talking about having sex at Starbucks, not really, but have you ever had sex in a public place in a crowded, like vanilla setting, like a dance club or a bar or a concert?
Well, I mean, I used to be in a punk band called Potty Trained, and I wore dresses and skirts and stuff like that, but I never had underwear on. So yeah, I mean, in public, women would play with my dick all the time because I was always whipping it out on stage. So
Oh,
I remember once I stirred a drink with my dick,
oh my God.
and I like walked up to a table and I lifted my little skirt and I'm like, yeah, and I stick my dick in a drink and I spin it and I walk back and everyone's like, ah, and I found out later that that was some dude's drink who went to the bathroom
Oh
and they
no.
didn't tell him.
Oh no.
And I'm like, that is awful.
That's awful funny.
I totally thought it was the chick's drink. Like, I would tell, I'll buy you another goddamn drink. It was a show. But
Yeah.
yeah, that was awful.
That's
That's the first time I've ever admitted that.
so that was a vanilla setting though, right? And you're just
Ye
flunking
Yeah,
yourself?
it was, well, vanilla-ish, there was definitely, some shenanigans. But, yeah, no, I've done public things. obviously public dungeons and things like that. I've done lots of sex stuff in.
Yeah, but not like a vanilla setting.
Yeah, I mean, hidden, secret. Once again, there's that whole involving people in your kink. Try to keep it on the down low. I've done a lot of things in cars and parking lots, like a lot of spankings where, you have someone lay over your lap and then you spank them and finger them because that you can't see them, under the view of the car window and stuff like
Right.
that.
Yeah.
And then vibrators and, remote control, things like that. I've done that stuff.
Okay. Well, those are my questions. So at this time, let's welcome the rest of our co-hosts for the Gotham Press podcast.
From Bakersfield to Mount Olympus, Gotham Press talks naughty business. Sexual topics to explore your whoredom. Good if you're new or a kinky Yoda. Gotham Press Podcast. The dirty kinksters your parents warned you about.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Lala. So how was Lala's Land this go round?
It was fun. Count Boogie's a naughty, naughty man.
Fingers.
Pop
Sorry,
ramen.
Boogie, are you an evil villain? That was a villain laugh right there.
I do have my evil moments. There is a cognitive dissonance all the time. My good versus evil. Usually the evil in the form of, mayhem is a little more fun, but I do like good sometimes.
Just sometimes.
I like evil all the time.
So I'm the only good one left on the podcast. Okay.
No, I'm good, but I like...
It balances the equation.
So first things first, on today's lovely episode featuring Count Boogie, something nerdy.
Mm-hmm.
So, Boogie, are you a movie person? Do you enjoy movies?
I do. I'm a little out of the movie game. I have in folders about 500 movies, but I stopped collecting movies about 12 years ago. So literally there's 12 years of movies that I've seen, like maybe a handful of. So if anything over 12 years, I am a big movie fan.
Okay. I asked this because with how 2020 went, movies just weren't coming out anymore for real. A lot of things tried to do the straight to digital version. Some hit, some missed. Netflix has announced that they are going to come out with a new movie every week this year.
A new movie that would have been released in the theaters?
Just a new Netflix original every week this year.
Oh.
I'm assuming that's not going to be a super high budget feature.
Have you seen any of the Netflix movies? They're pretty well done.
Is it like TV movie? I mean, because obviously they're not going to dump 150 mil a week into, creating these movies. It's kind of like the made for TV movie like level
ish. It depends on the movie, because they have some real big star power behind some of these movies. Like they got The Rock, they got Chris Hemsworth, they got Ryan Reynolds, Gal Gadot. So they got some big names.
So they're more about story than high budget effects and stuff like that.
That's the thing. They're all different kinds of movies.
Okay.
I bet they're going to be like Hallmark, like that kind of.
I don't know if it'll be Hallmark level.
Like that quality, though.
When a Girl Gets Her Period, starring The Rock. We gotta go to the store and get some tampons for this kid. I don't know what I'm doing.
I don't know why that sounds so entertaining all of a sudden.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, that's 90% of Hallmark, at least from 20 years ago.
Wow. Oh God, The Rock. I'm sorry, but you broke me. The Rock getting a period.
No, he's like the dad or the like weird uncle or something that's trying to help navigate the changes of life in the young girl blossoming into a woman, with her crotch bleeding for the first time and not knowing how to handle it. There's an obstacle there. There's compelling fucking relationship shit. And then there's the awkwardness of, handling it.
That sounds more of like an after-school special from the 80s.
Not if you add lasers and Egyptian mummies to it.
Oh, I didn't know we had mummies.
Yeah, because this is set in the Egyptian times, so it's Scorpion King. Scorpion King is now like the uncle or the dad, Ra or whatever, Egyptian god. And then, Sekhmet or, whatever is gets her period, and he's got to go fight mummies and shit to get whatever, I don't know what the hell they roll up, dead sheep or something, with cow dung or something, camel poop.
Maybe they
camel
need
poop tampons.
They need
And
the mummy wrappings.
Yeah, he's got to figure it out.
Yeah.
And while she's getting, coming of age, he's got to explain shit to her, how to kill mummies and be a woman at the same time. I'm sure there's a story there.
Hold on. The Rock explaining how to be a woman. That beautiful right there.
Right. That's it.
$100 million. Mate.
I got a tear going down my cheek right now just thinking about The Rock emoting.
You're so sensitive.
It's true. I am.
Are you?
Wait, hold on. Wait.
Yeah.
Boogie,
what?
do you know what the word sensitive means?
Well, I mean, in theory, yes. But, as, someone with a lot of mental issues, you got to constantly cram that shit down because butthurt will just equal suicide, man. You just got to shove it down there. So, yeah, I'm very sensitive, but I have to work really, really hard to not care.
Ah, okay. I see how it goes now.
Does that make sense?
It does. It makes perfect sense.
You asked me to be here. Just remember that.
I did, and I do not regret it at all.
I warned you, and I warned you.
What was the warning? I just want to be nosy.
No, you just kind of get what you get. I don't have that much of a filter. So you're going to hear about fucking camel poop, dildo, tampons.
Camel poop, dildo, tampons.
And, consenting, dog bestiality mating rituals. I don't know.
Wow.
You know what? We'll get what we get. This is the perverted version of Gotham Press.
I should have probably asked what your format is before I came on. You're like, this is a cooking show, right? And I'm like, oh, whoops. I'm sorry. Let's talk about making crepes.
I mean, you can get kinky.
Crepes are good. I like, the little thing that you swirl around on the hot plate thing. Very crepey.
Oh, crepey.
And then I roll it up, stuff it in a condom, and shove it in Lala. What?
Ooh. Except I'm not into food stuff.
But the food will be into you.
It sounds like it.
These are the jokes, kids. I'm in front of a Starbucks. Just in front of a Starbucks. Living my dream.
We love it. This is the dream of so many, I'm sure. Because everybody wants to be part of a kinky podcast, right?
Absolutely.
So, so Greedy's not able to be on right now. He's having trouble with his Zencaster, but he is texting. And since you guys were talking about food, he's saying dildo cookies need to happen here.
Oh, pussy cookies.
Oh, God. Pussy cookies.
Well,
pussy cookies. Come on.
For you guys, maybe, with a hole in it, right? But dildo cookies for the gals.
Well, that's what pussy cookies are. Pussy cookies are not pussy cookies are the act of taking cookie dough, rolling it up in plastic, putting it in condoms, and then fucking someone with it until they come or get really aroused, taking it out, unwrapping the cookie dough, and then baking the cookie. That's what the pussy cookies are.
Oh, but there's no juice of the vagina on the dough, right? Because you wrapped it up.
No, that's why you wrap it up I'm sure there's some fucking pigs out there that are like, fuck yeah, I want a juicy pussy cookie, but that's called guaranteed UTI, and we're not going to do that.
Oh, God.
So yeah, you put it in, and that way, so technically, no, the dough doesn't touch, but it's exciting when somebody hands you a plate of cookies and you know that dough was inside of them. I did a whole party at the club I used to work at, and we had a pussy cookies party. I made a song. I did a whole thing. We've done this on my show a bunch of times. And literally turned the entire kitchen into like the Keebler Pussy Cookie Elf Factory. And we all sat in there rolling up. Everyone brought their own doughs, and they made homemade doughs and, vegan recipes and all sorts of shit. And then we made dildos. Huh?
Vegan recipes?
Yeah, there's vegan, whatever. I don't know. It's fucking grains and birds and twigs, bird spit or whatever the hell they put in those things. And so, I'm not going to eat it. So I'm just, going to nod and go, that's great. Yeah, thumbs up. Be supportive, right? Come on, don't be a bitch. So, and then they would go into the rooms, and then they would have play scenes and fuck each other with the dildos, and then come in, and then we'd bake the cookies. The whole dungeon smelled like cookies the whole night. It was amazing. 11 people, because I made little things, little laminates that said, I made pussy cookies. And believe me, those chicks wanted that fucking award. Every one of them. And they all took pictures with them and posted on their Fat Life pages. It was great. 11 of them played. And there was one point I walked down the hall, because there was a lot of rooms down this hallway, like 6 or 7 rooms in one hallway. And in one walk, I looked left to right to left to right, and I saw 4 separate cookie dildos, D-O-U-G-H. See, it's a little clever dildo. Get it? Because it's dough.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did that. Yeah. And I saw 4 different women with dildos inside of them in various stages of moaning, coming, laughing. And it was amazing. It was amazing to be that silly and fun, and everyone had a good time. Pussy cookies, you got to do it.
Well,
that sounds hilarious.
I don't gotta do it, but it sounds like it could have been fun.
If we do it anal on you, we can call him Famous Anus. That was not my joke. Somebody actually wrote that in. It was amazing joke. Good joke.
That's very funny.
I just thought about something. If you take the dough and just bake it as is in that form, do you now have a permanent dildo?
I mean, you would have to. It would get brittle.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
And then it would rip the condom. And then it sounds good. I mean, you could, if you cooked it at the right temperature, which would take experimentation, and goddamn it, we do love kinky science. Like if you figured out how to just unroll it and put it in and make like a little cookie loaf, and then you cut a little cookie loaf, and then you serve the little pieces of cookie loaf, that'd be kind of cool.
That'd be pretty cool indeed.
Could be cool. I think it would be raw in the middle, though.
Well, once again, that's what the experiment is. What's the right temperature? What's, for the thickness and the diameter,
Yeah.
There's people that can bake that could figure it out.
Yeah, probably.
People bake?
What?
I said people bake?
There's a lot of people that bake. I used to be a baker. Very briefly as a kid. As a teenager, I was
going to say, Perverted Podcast, one of the most perverted people in the world, Count Boogie, is a baker.
For like 3 weeks, in a market, you got to get in there at 3 a.m. and do all the things and, but yeah, I totally made all the cookies and little danishes and shit and breads and, that's like for real kitchen in there. When you start getting into those bakeries in the markets, the panderias and stuff like that, they don't mess around. I'm not saying I was good at it. They moved me to the deli after a few weeks. But I did it.
Were you eating all the dough? Is that why?
No, I wasn't fat then. I wasn't. My compulsion was not as bad when I was 17. The eating disorders really took off in the in the later 20s.
Oh gosh.
Oh god. All right. Let me rein this back in since our micromanager isn't doing so.
I'm sorry. I'm not being a good manager.
It's okay. It's all right. You're trying your best. So, micromanager,
Yeah.
we have a word because we have a giveaway. Finally,
Oh, yes, we do.
you
Amazing
remember what we're
giveaway.
giving away?
I do.
Tell the listeners.
Oh, we're giving
Tell
away.
Boogie.
Yeah. Hey, Boogie. You could probably put in for this drawing, by the way. Thief of Dreams created this amazing flogger. He's on Etsy. He's got his own shop. It's called Thief's Touch. And he makes these amazing floggers, and he donated one to us to give away. So
Fantastic. What are you going to do? I mean, because it's a flogger. You're not talking, it's not like some crappy keychain. You know, this is
no,
a flogger. This is something that somebody can keep for a long time. What's the name of his Etsy page?
it's called Thief's Touch.
Thief's Touch. Okay, good. Thief's Touch on Etsy. And
Yep.
so he's selling these things if people want to go to him. Does he do custom orders?
He does. He made a cat o' nine tails. It was amazing for one of our sponsors, actually, which we haven't talked about our sponsors. Awesome.
We have not. That was coming up next.
Is it sponsors?
We do have sponsors.
God damn.
He-
Well, how
Thief's
would you
is
give
now
away
one
the
of them.
flogger? It's got to be cool. It can't be like, oh, send in, answer some dumb question. It's got to be something.
no.
You got to make a video. Someone's got to make some sort of video, and there should be some sort of anal involved.
Awesome. He's on to something. We really should kick it up and have people they have to draw us something or they have to send us a video. I like that.
You're saying actually make them work for their prize?
Yeah, for a
Yeah.
flogger, fucking that's a good prize. That's not, like I said, if it's a keychain, it's like, okay, the first 10 people to email us and tell us how great we are, we'll send you a stupid keychain. But a flogger, that's a TikTok video with your name in it. There's got to be something. They got to go stand on a mountain or something, like fucking, go smack a bear in the titty or something and like run from it while it's holding a Gotham Press podcast sign. Got to do something.
I like it.
Up the game,
Yeah.
Lala, you know what's going to happen from this, right? Our
What?
listeners are going to be so upset. It's like they put Boogie on there, and now they're making us work for the prizes instead of just entering like they used to.
It's a flogger.
I want to win this flogger, but they won't let me.
No, we can't win the flogger. It's got to be for the goddamn listeners.
Thank you, Boogie.
I listen. I listen every week.
It should be a Plant the Gotham Press podcast contest, and then you do it for like a month, and you say whoever does it, in this month, and go plant the flag, and they hold up a little sign.
We have bumper stickers. We could have them put bumper stickers like on a tree or something.
Or put it across your boobs and then go flash in a market or something, get yourself arrested, get maced by a cop. Do something. Look, obviously I'm a guest, so what I say isn't legally binding. You guys can just be like, the fucking guy, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. We would never do that.
Oh, God. Well, we will come up with something that is safe and sane, but represents us. Yeah, awesome. We'll talk about that later.
We definitely will. I'm trying to remember what it is on Perverted Podcast that Kathy says about Boogie's views not representing everybody else.
The Boogie does not represent those of Kathy.
The views of Boogie do not represent those of the Gotham Press Podcast. He is merely a guest.
I am a guest. Goddamn right. I warned you. There was a warning.
It was, and it's great still. So, listeners, we'll work on making you do more for our prizes because our prizes are worth it. Goddamn it! But
Okay,
for this one,
listen to this really quick in Greedy's voice. NSA, stop listening.
NSA, stop listening.
Yes.
All right. But for this week, the entry to get an entry is going to be, as usual, giving us a call either to Candy Sweetbox or sending a text, the word touch, because a lot of us are touch starved right now. We need it.
Yeah, Boogie's not going to agree to this. He doesn't like this plan. We need to do something bigger and better.
Well, that's
I'm just
next
looking
time.
the other way right now. I'm just watching entitled idiots get their stupid Starbucks coffees.
All right.
It happens. All right. So moving forward, Lala, I got a
Yes.
question.
All right.
All right. We understand that you are in your late 60s.
Yes.
And
Or early 60s. Let's not go too far.
You're in your
Lala, if you're
60s,
gonna-
Lala?
don't believe her.
She
says
you're not.
I turned 60 in October.
Your voice sounds like you're 23.
Nope.
I thought this topic was talking shit about me.
Boogie, here's the thing. Lala, for a very long time, has told everybody that she is in her 60s. Nobody believes it because it's not true, but she keeps saying it. So she wants it to be true. So I found an article about the most popular kink amongst those over 60.
Okay, what is it?
Lala, well, no, Lala, what is your most popular kink?
CNC,
60, right?
Yeah, CNC.
CNC, really?
Yes.
Good. Consensual non-consent. Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
I think she's got Boogie excited.
Well, I hope so. How's your top ramen doing?
It's at the ramen stage still. Sorry. I'm gonna poke it a couple times. But I can't. There's people around, but I can just poke it a little. Hey there, little guy. Hey. Consensual non-consent. You want to come out for a little time? Lala's here. You want to say hi, Lala? Okay. No, not working.
No, all right.
You tried. Well, here's the thing. The article itself was a little bit misleading because what it actually says is BDSM is the most popular kink among those over 60. I'm like, but BDSM and kink are pretty much the same stuff, right?
Yeah.
Well, ish. I mean, it depends on your words. I mean, they probably don't have, if this article was written by non-kinky people, then they don't have all the definitions. But the BDSM would usually refer to the dominance, submission, and power exchange, where the kink is actually just the activity.
Ah, okay. So
like spanking is a kink, knife play is a kink, BDSM is more of the dominant, submissive, power exchange kind of thing. Maybe. I don't fucking know anymore.
So maybe it wasn't wrong. Maybe I was just misreading it. All right. But apparently people over 60 are really getting it in nowadays. At least now it's more well known that it's being gotten in. I'm pretty sure that people over 60 have been doing it since people have been over 60.
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, they just didn't. They called it different things, and it was done in different ways. And the people that did it a lot probably didn't talk about it much, so there wasn't a lot of education around that.
Wait, what? Are you saying that people don't talk about their sexual prowess and adventures? Who doesn't do that?
Yeah, usually that isn't the case. More so now, obviously, but in the golden age of Earth and humanity, a lot of those things were not talked about. And so a lot of people don't even know that they're kinky. They just know that they like certain pinches and bites and things, and they fantasize about, being restricted in their movements,
but they're scared to talk to other people about it.
Yes, and so therefore it manifests itself into negative behaviors.
Negative behaviors,
and they put themselves in risky situations, and wait until it builds up so much that they do things that are non-consensual. Yeah.
So you mean those people that go and meet a stranger at a hotel for whatever reasons, hoping to get that little bit
without a safe call, without all the things that those of us that talk about this are able to put in place, or just getting into situations where you're like, oh, well, I read this erotic novel and it says, I'm supposed to do everything this person tells me if I'm a real submissive. And then that person doesn't know better either, and then they're telling you, or they're an abuser, and they're telling you can get yourself in trouble that way.
Yep.
Nobody wants that.
Nope. Huh. So all it said was BDSM. It didn't give any examples of kinks.
It just all it did is said that people that are over 60 are getting more into the article itself says they are getting more into BDSM because it's more well known now because of movies and media, and the world is like, hey, everybody should know everything nowadays.
Yeah, I've definitely seen a shift in the conversations people are willing to have, which I think is amazing. And especially when you start getting older, like especially for the men, things like we've been joking about this show, things don't work as well as they used to. So some men have a lot of problems with erectile dysfunction and impotence once they're over 60. So you still want to have connections with people and you still want to be sexual with somebody. So kink and BDSM, they give you a lot of different opportunities to still be sexual, to still connect with a partner that maybe aren't all about fucking.
Right. And that's good.
So what you're saying, Boogie, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's not all about the sex?
Well, it depends on how you view sex or what you view as sex. There's a lot of different definitions out there. But yeah, for some people, if sex to you is fornication, then no, kink isn't always all about fucking.
Right. Which actually kind of leads into our next topic, which is something that was brought up by Brad Steele, who is one of our other sponsors, who does amazing adult pacifiers. Right, Lala?
Ooh, pacifiers are good.
Yes, he does. Do you have a pacifier?
For myself, no, but I have bunches of them. Well, I used to, because, I'm a daddy. So, of course, I have littles, and some of those littles, not all of them, are age regression down to pacifier level. But once again, really important, you can go to the 99-cent store and get the crappy little Cookie Monster passy, but it doesn't fit an adult mouth. You got to really work to keep it in your mouth and keep it at kind of the end of your lips and stuff like that. That's why it's really good to have people that can make adult pacifiers that are the right size for an adult mouth. And that way, especially if you want to keep it in for a while, it's been really good. And there are now, because age play and littles has grown so much and the communities have grown so much and people are discovering it, you now have people that are providing products that are for adults.
Right. And with Brad Steele, every one of his pasties is custom made. So
that's great.
Contact him, say, hey, I would like a pasty in this type, in this style, and he will do his best to accommodate.
That's great.
Yeah, they're colorful and fun, and he puts ribbons on them or clips on them so you don't lose them. They're perfect in every way. And if I was a little, I definitely would own several.
That's very cool. Does this person have an Etsy? Or where do they sell them?
They do not have an Etsy. They have an Instagram, and you just contact them either through there or on FetLife and get your pacifier made. There's a link in the show notes directly to reach out.
Very good. Very cool thing to have.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want a pacifier.
So the topic suggestion that Brad Steele put in was actually about collars and collaring, like as far as the depth of collaring. What is it like to be collared in person? How is it nowadays with everybody having to be online? Are you able to be collared online? When you're collared that way, is it for play? Is it like a full dynamic still? Is it a pet collar?
Like what kind of collar? Or
well, there's a bunch of different types of collaring, but with things now, with everybody being far away and not being able to be in person, is collaring still as meaningful at this point?
I would say even more so now because of the pandemic and our separation from people, because you don't have that ability to have physical contact with someone, but you can connect through your rituals and through your collarings. I know my the most primary person in my group that I have, which is Mew from my show, she's off in med school on the other side of the country right now. So obviously we aren't together anymore experiencing our physical contact and the things that we do in our dynamic, in real time. But she does have the collar I have for her. And then there's times where she puts that on, and that gives her the ability over long distance to feel connected to me because she knows that's my collar. And she puts it on, and sometimes she'll say I'm wearing the collar, and then she'll ask me permission to take it off. We can do rituals and things like that, which we don't do a whole lot of protocol and rituals with her because that's not our dynamic. But it really gives you the ability to connect, even in play, because for some people, the collar can represent 100,000 things to 100,000 people.
True.
But if it's something that helps you feel center and connected to somebody that you are either playing with or have an actual dynamic with, I think even more so now than pre-pandemic, that collars are a significant part of what people are doing to maintain that connection.
Okay. Very nice. Lala,
Yeah.
are you collared?
I wear a collar when I am with Bradler, when he chooses to put it on me. But mostly that's for when he wants me to be in a certain mindset. I don't wear it religiously.
I don't think many people wear collars religiously.
Oh, sure, why not? Posture collars and all sorts of stuff. There's all sorts of wacky reasons someone wear. I mean, people wear it just for the looks. Some people wear it to kind of ward off predators, people that are going to come up to them, because
sure.
in some dungeons it's some people think you're owned if you're wearing a collar.
Yeah.
And so they won't approach. Like I don't talk to people who have collars in a predatory way, in my normal predator get my dick inside you way, until I ask, is that collar for show, or do you have
I was
a
gonna say, so what you're saying is you normally talk in a predatory way?
Yes, I do. Every fucking time. Every fucking woman that I am attracted to or think I am attracted to, I am going to speak to that person. And I'm going to say, this is who I am and this is what I'm about. And if you don't like it, then you can reject me. And I know how to deal with fucking rejection. But yes, I am a predator. That's what I do. I'm going to fucking smell you out. And if I can, then I'm going to see if you want to be prey. If you're not a bottom, I'm going to find that out real quick. And then we're going to be like top bros. So yeah.
Top bros.
Oh yeah. I switch quick because I have no desire to hunt. I don't need to convert a lesbian to penis, and I don't need to convert a top to being a bottom. I don't need the fucking challenge. There's enough women out there that identify as bottoms that want to be prey, and I want to find those.
When you say prey, does that mean you're what is that fetish? Ugh.
Predator?
Primal?
Primal. Are you primal? Yeah.
Yeah, we're all primal.
No, I know.
Being human. You have all those instincts. You have an entire half of your brain that's primal.
I know, but I'm saying there's that fetish where they do a thing where they are all primal and go crazy and like go hunting for submissive in like the woods, and like they set up a whole thing.
Yeah, I don't need to go in the woods. I mean, I'm sure that's fine, to just trudge through bear poop and things. Or I could just, see if you want to play and gurr and bite and slash and knife and scratch and all those things. And that's fine to do too. But yeah, it's a spectrum just like anything. But yeah, I definitely identify as primal, but I throw it out there to the person and give them the ability to choose for themselves, because I'm only hitting on adults.
Right, yes.
So if I let you know, hey, what are you into? Oh, you're not into that? Okay, well then now I know that I'm not going to pursue anymore. Okay, now we'll just be buddies and, whatever.
Right, okay.
Not a big deal. How do we get on this topic?
I'm not really sure. I'm not sure.
Turned on for a minute. Collaring.
Collaring, yes.
Well, yeah, because, collars can be worn for different things.
Yes. I used to wear a wedding ring in my 20s and 30s because I was tired of getting hit on. So I can understand why people would want to wear a collar, especially like to a crowded dungeon setting if you're going by yourself or with a bunch of girls.
Did
I
that
would.
work? Did the wedding ring work? Because I
No.
know a lot of guys that cue in on that because now they know you're not going to try to marry them.
Yeah. Sometimes it worked and sometimes it didn't. There was always the testing, the prodding,
Right.
how long have you been married and that kind of thing. So
Right. So are you interested in cheating on your husband right now in my car by
yeah,
sucking my dick?
yeah, basically. Yeah.
Once
Yeah.
again, I don't need that competition. Don't care. There's enough single women out there.
Right. Yep. Yeah. And if I was interested, I wouldn't wear a wedding ring. I'd be on the prowl myself.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So
Lala, I'm trying to imagine you on the prowl.
back in my sexy days,
That's funny.
I was always on the prowl.
See,
Yeah.
you are a predator. You're primal
No.
or you're primal prey.
Yeah. Well, I guess no. I mean, I was always looking for that person, but
So wait a minute though. You said CNC is your biggest kink.
yeah.
So that's kind of primal predator prey, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm the prey.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, you got to find someone who's willing to do it, cuz
Yeah.
it can be scary for people. But that's
Oh,
the
you
part
mean as the top?
Sure. Yeah, if they
Yes.
don't
Yes, like I don't want to go to jail or kill someone kind of fear. Yeah.
Yeah,
That is
exactly.
definitely something you have to think of. That's why it's good to get to know someone before you just jump into a CNC dynamic.
Yes. And to talk about it and communicate it first.
Yes. I just don't walk in the room and smack you in the face and rape your ass.
Not in
Because that could be real rape. Ouch. Oops.
oh, ooh, yeah. Yeah. Yes. Scary.
But I digress from
Let's go
Captain
back to,
Awesome's topic yet again.
no,
Sorry.
let's go back to collaring. So, Awesome, have you ever collared someone?
Have I?
Or Awesome, or you? Well, I know you have, Boogie, but Awesome, have you?
I have not. I've never had the opportunity to collar anyone.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. I'm not that Lala. You know
Yo,
me. I've only been in this thing for like 6 years. You have to be in at least like 20 before you can collar somebody, right?
What?
that's BS.
The fuck? Who told you that fucking bullshit?
I was joking. I was joking.
Okay. I can't see your face and your inflections and shit.
I know.
We're on audio. You never
Yeah.
know. Somebody be like, yes, the old guard is you have to start as a slave. And then you must serve as a slave.
It's true.
And then,
It did.
there's a whole group of, that is a whole way. And then all of a sudden people said, do we have to do that? And then somebody brave, I don't know who it was,
It was
Joe or Janet Kinky stood up and said, you don't have to do it that way, right? And everyone went, what? What? I don't? No, you just actually find things that you like and then talk to other people and then find what they like and then just, go do that. And everyone went,
Boogie,
and that's when the old guard died.
Home Improvement.
What?
I was saying with your sound effects, all I was thinking was tools Home Improvement.
Yeah. And it's true. That's what we just talked about this. It's more, I think old guard and leather is now more authentic, even though it is way, way anemically smaller than it used to be, because now it's the people that really connect to the leather lifestyle. They connect to the old guard. That's how they choose to do it because that's what they desire and want to do. And it used to be everyone kind of did it because the next person that's older than you said, yes, this is how everyone has to do it. And if you're a male, you're a top. And if you're a female, you're a submissive, And so everyone kind of did it and it wasn't that authentic. And there was a lot of infighting. And now, because people know they don't have to do that, only the people that really do want to do that. And everyone else can just do what they want to do. Yay! It's like a happy world.
Yay!
Woot! Everybody's happier now.
Woot! That's great.
Yeah.
You're all WOOT. Hello.
Hello.
That's me celebrating.
Celebrating.
Like, woot.
Winning.
Hello. I'm totally. You guys know I'm from the San Fernando Valley, right? You know, I'm in the San Fernando Valley right now. You know, that's where we invented this language. Hello. Paris Hilton learned it from me. The Kardashians would sound like literally like stoic bankers if it wasn't for me in the San Fernando Valley. Just remember that.
You
Okay.
specifically, though.
That's what we taught them.
All right.
You are brilliant in every way.
Thank you for sure. Totally.
Yeah.
Every single way.
Totally. Gag me.
Okay. All right. So moving slightly away from the collars and collaring conversation, we are in a brand new year, right? 2020's done, over with. Kick that shit away. 2021.
Yep.
Things are starting to happen again. Like, but not in the exact same way. Like, events aren't really like getting together and meeting at munches and things. Everything's happening online now.
Not necessarily.
Really?
There are some private parties happening here and there.
Oh.
Yes, with select few.
Okay. Well, not as
COVID parties, right? You mean let's get infected parties, right?
No.
I'm just kidding.
No.
Everyone's been tested at these parties before they go to these parties type parties. Everyone social distances and wears their things, right? No.
Yes.
That's not what's happening.
Yes. Supposedly.
I'm in Los Angeles where there's a 19% infection rate.
Oh.
So I'm a little bit, I guess, bitchier about what people are doing.
I can understand that.
Yeah. There's no beds here. If I die, if I get anything, hope I don't have a stroke because there's no beds.
Right.
No beds.
Sorry. There's my grant.
It's pretty bad here in Bakersfield too. I don't know what the percentage is, but our numbers are over 800 every day. So
that's crazy for Bakersfield.
Yeah.
Do we have 800 people in the city?
That's what I'm saying. You guys are like at 92% infection rate daily.
I'd rather not.
Like you're importing people to get sick. Got to keep our numbers up.
Well, I mean, technically, LA does ship some of the quote-unquote vagrants to Bakersfield. So,
well, we got a few of those here. I like the word vagrant. That's funny. Look at you, you cads, you cad road vagrant.
How dare you, sir?
You hobo. With your little pack and your little scarf around the end of a stick with your life's belongings in it.
Go hop on a train, why don't you?
Hop on the train. Sing supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Your face is painted like that sad, fucked up clown from Barnum and Bailey's Animal Abuse Circus.
Oh, that just turned really sad.
What?
No, let's go back. Awesome. What were you going to say? 2021.
What I was saying is, as people are trying to get back to whatever the new quote unquote normal is, what's that look like for like events and play spaces and even dynamics? Like, how is that looking in the new year?
It doesn't look like anything right now because nobody can go anywhere or do anything.
Well, that's the thing. Nobody can go anywhere or do anything, but things are still happening. Like, I know that online, even tonight, I know that there are at least 2 events happening that I could have been a part of. I know that on this coming Friday, I'm hosting an event for the local community, our lifestyle discussion, which hasn't happened since January of last year or February, maybe. I forget. It's been. Look, 2020 was a long decade. Okay.
So are you just saying that things are going to start happening online more because people are sick of not having anything, so they're going to make more of an effort to have stuff available?
Well, that's what I'm seeing happening is, I'm having the Wednesday event. I'm hosting that. I'm going to start doing the monthly Friday event. I know that Brad is still. He's going to start doing the Bottoms Club again.
Mhm.
Uh, Next month, he said he's going to start up Tiny Time again for the littles. So
And all that's
things
going to
are,
be virtual.
yeah, all that's going to be virtual. But this the new normal going forward now, as people went an almost entire year without these things.
I think because I always think something. So here comes my clever bullshit.
Go for it.
That might or not. I think what we have seen in a really rough year, at least socially, there's places obviously in the world where they're suffering a lot more than we are in Los Angeles and Bakersfield. But it has been a rough year, and I've lived in a car for that year. So I know it hasn't been great. But people are starting to adapt and find those ways. People are very tenacious. And so even though there's been changes and people have had to do more things online, no matter what, we adapt, because that's what biology and that's what humans do. We adapt to things. As vaccines start making their way and more things start opening up, hopefully in the next few months, the vaccines will get to a level to where certain people feel comfortable, or maybe there'll be like vaccine parties where if you can bring proof of your vaccine, you can get into certain things. I mean, they're floating around so many different ideas of how we're going to acclimate ourselves back socially. No matter what, it's going to take a long time before people feel comfortable going into big parties. I
Yeah.
mean, there's some people that are going to be like, fuck it, I'm ready, I'm going to go. But I always think that no matter what, and this is what happens after every big change in society, that, I'm sure they went through this in the early 1900s with the super, pandemic that they had. What that looks like, there's always going to be some changes. And I think in some ways, the online and the virtual connections is good, because that means there's going to be more classes and more munches online, and there's going to be more sharing of information because of that. People that couldn't get to munches, or people in different cities and states, at least in the US, that can't get to those munches physically, we now have ways to communicate with people virtually, because a lot of people didn't know about Zoom and Zencaster and all of these things that we now do to connect, is actually probably going to end up being real positive. Of course, we're going to get back to our dungeons and our fucking and our kink live, but I think it's going to be, you're going to see both of those things kind of hand in hand, hopefully building a better experience and more education.
Okay, that feels like a hand clap moment. Thank you, Boogie. Well done.
Thanks. It was probably all bullshit. I don't know. I just think about a lot of shit.
I'm sure I'll find some hand claps to splice in there for you.
That's great. Thank you. That's me being positive.
Hey, positivity is a great thing. We kind of need that these days.
You got to have a little bit of hope, because if not, you're just a miserable POS. You just got to find something.
And nobody wants to be that.
No, I've been that, for decades. I am miserable, whiny, butthurt POS. I did that for decades. And now I'm like, okay, there's got to be something I can be grateful for. And I'm very grateful for the technology that has not only allowed me to do my show, which helps people stay connected, not just to kink, but to just other humans. I'm just very happy to see how many people are communicating more and how many more classes there are, and that's the advancement of knowledge. And I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah, me too.
I like it. I like it a lot. Oh, man. Oh, okay. All right. Do we have anything else? Because I think that was the last thing I had on the rundown.
I don't.
We have one other thing. Sadly, Steve could not be here tonight, so I'll do his segment.
Okay.
He found a bunch of social media accounts, and he said he wants to kind of put them out there for people, because for some reason, not everybody's on FetLife. They should be, but not everybody is. So he found different like Instagrams, Twitters that try to get the good word of kink out there. Much like Boogie's church does.
Hey, man, the church cock.
Church
But
cock.
you have a church? I don't listen to your
do. It's a Church of Consensual Kink, which spells
Ooh.
cock.
And do you have a sermon like every week or something? Is that your podcast?
I have semen. What? Do
Your
I put
podcast.
semen in you? What? I thought you didn't like food play.
Awesome. You better say what that link is real fast before we get into naughty business.
What,
Naughty
my
business.
link?
No, he's introducing
The link to semen? What? I mean, it's kind of stringy when it comes out. I guess it could like stretch, you know. If you put your ear up to it, maybe it could do that telephone thing with just a line of spooge with the 2 cups and a line of. You just like come on one of them and then twist it together and like pull them apart and see if it'll stretch and then go, hello, we are seamen talking. I am talking to seamen under the sea. What? Wow.
No, Boogie. She was saying as far as the account that Thief found for this episode. This is from Lena Doon. Her Instagram is at Ask a Sub. It's a place for submissive questions. She explores the triumphs and challenges of practicing BDSM, whether that's in a 24/7 relationship or just in a friends with benefits that you really trust. She does kink memes and just kind of tries to get the word of kink out there.
Very good. Very good.
Very good. Very good. So I think that's the last thing I had. Lala, did you have anything else?
No, because life.
Because I am an exhausting person. Lala is like, can we get this fucking guy off of the show?
No, wait. I have to ask. What is the Church of Cock? When do you do it? What is it?
It's Perverted Podcast. That's our show. That's our congregation. They are part of the Church of Cock. My co-host Kathy coined she's like, oh, what about Church of Consensual Kink? And I'm like, cock? And she laughed and I'm like, that's it. Well, that's what we are.
Okay.
And then people are grammar Nazis and they're like, you can't say Church of Cock because it's like saying the Church of Cock. And I'm like, fuck off. It's the Church of Cock. Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry that I don't listen to your podcast. I just don't have time in my life.
No, you're not. Don't be sorry. Don't be sorry at all. Your life is better for not listening.
I did come and watch you once, and that was fun.
Came? Now we're back to the semen again. God, you really are sexually aggressive.
I am so sexually aggressive.
Boogie, you have to shame her into it.
It's good.
Wait, what? You have to shame me into it?
Wait a minute. Awesome. Do you fool around with Lala? Am I missing something here?
I'm confused.
No, I was just saying that Boogie, if you want to listen, you have to shame her into listening to the podcast. Otherwise, she'll just.
What, to my podcast? No, I'm telling you, she's better off. I mean, she just got abused with an hour of my fucking insane ramblings about fucking The Rock with tampons and dog sex and, bears and nipple tweakings. And, I can't believe I remember the shit that comes out of my mouth. I won't remember it 10 minutes from now.
All right.
My listeners do that all the time. They're like, remember in show 273 when you said, I'm like, no, but it sounds like some stupid thing I would say.
Oh my gosh. I had fun with you, and I'm glad that you were on, and I don't feel like you were crazy off the wall. Maybe
I'm
a little
hunting for validation, Lala. Don't you see? This is basic dude manipulation.
I'm doing it. I'm such a good little soldier.
Just validate me and say my cock's beautiful, and we're cool. We're cool.
Hey, Lala, do you have any closing thoughts?
What? Say that again.
I said, Lala, do you have any closing thoughts?
I can't wait to meet Top Ramen, and hopefully, life will become normal again, and we can all converge on one room and say hey in person. I don't really have any final thoughts other than that, but I do have something Greedy said is his final thought is that he does not like this app. Awesome. Do you have any final thoughts?
Well, fuck you, Greedy. This is how we're getting people from far away from now on, for the moment at least. Hey, Boogie.
Yeah.
Boogie, do you have any final thoughts?
Yeah.
Do you want to pimp out your podcast at all?
I thought we did. Didn't we say like perverted podcast like 800 times? I want to pimp out the pacifiers and the flogger guys.
Boogie, thank you for being on. It was great having you.
Awesome, Lala, and all the other people that sort of tried to get on but couldn't get on. And of course, your amazing listeners. Thank you so much for letting me be here. You have a great show. Always a pleasure to hang out with you.
Thank you, Boogie. We can't wait till next time.
Lovin' licky fish tacos.
Fish tacos.
All I heard was something tacos.
Yeah, I guess we should end now. Awesome. Do you have any final thoughts real quick?
Boogie, thanks for coming on. Happy to have you. Lala, as usual, you've been lovely and beautiful. And with that, we are out.
Bye. Thanks, Boogie.
I love you guys.
Love you. We'll see you again someday.